So this camera's a total piece of crap, but that's okay. We're going to record this anyways. I'm going to pull a donor part off this switchboard. I have a customer coming by and they damaged the SD card slot on their Nintendo Switch motherboard, or at least the FPC connector. So we're going to go ahead and remove a part from a donor board that I have on hand so we can move that over to the new board. So let's go over to the microscope. We can look at this part. There it is. It's so tiny. Let's look at my tweezers. I got hot glue over my tweezers. So this is it. It's real small. Let's get that in focus. Okay. I'm going to mask it off with some tape because it's good practice. I'm going to have to do the same process on the actual board. And then we'll pull this piece off. I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got my air set to 470. And we're just going to come in real slow. It can take a while for this to warm up. So I'm just going to warm it up. I'll be right back when it's about ready to come off. Let's check it now. Now, let me turn up the air speed a little bit. Out. What not to do. Okay, so we're going to try something different because that was a catastrophe. I think I didn't heat it evenly, but I want a better chance of getting it right the first time. So I think what I want to do is I want to heat the board from underneath. That might give a better cleaner uninstall. So let's see if I can bring this in here. Because that plastic warmed up before the metal did. So I'm going to point my heat gun up. I'm actually going to add a little bit of flux just so I can see when it's starting to get hot. I'm just going to hold the air. And let's see how long this takes. I'll just do this in real time. What the heck? I'm not going to cut. This is a thick board. Almost. There we go. Clean. Now, I got that part perfectly off. Now I just got to decide, when I put it on the new piece, do I want to put it back on the same way? I'm going to look at the bottom of this board in just a moment, and we'll see what's going on. So that's a lesson learned. I do not currently have the skills to pull these off from the top, because it probably takes more practice than I need. I need to be safer in this case. So there's the FPC connector. Excuse my shaky hand. Unless I have my hand resting on something, it's shaky. I get that from my grandpa. Okay, let's look at the bottom of the board. Alright, so I've got the console in hand. I tested all the button functions and they're all working. Tested Joy-Cons, those are all working as well. So I'm going to go ahead and power this off and take it apart. And we'll see what we find. Alright, now I've got the console out where I can look at the FPC connector. And we can see, yep, one of those pins is ripped out. At least it's not the connector ripped off, because if those pads went out, that would be awful. I could probably run a jumper, but I would rather replace the connector in this case. We'll go ahead and take this board out and get that connector off, and then we'll take care of the rest. Okay, the board is fully out. I'm just going to look around, just make sure everything's good with other parts of the board. I do see a little bit of dirt and gunk in there, but the pins look fine. Nothing super damaged. Okay. And here's that connector up close. You can really see that pad missing. It's loose. Okay. Let's go ahead and remove it. Okay, so I've got it all masked off, just so I'm not heating up stuff I don't want to heat up. Just want to come in and pull it up when it's ready. I'm going to set my air to 470, a little bit higher airspeed. And I'm going to come in and it's okay if this connector gets destroyed because it's already trash. It's the one I'm putting on that I want to be more cautious about, but it's going to be okay because I'm going to put fresh solder down. And I think what I did the first time is I didn't heat the whole thing evenly, so it just kind of crumbled up. I held the air in one place too long.
gonna hold it back a little bit. Well, it's off. Let's see how I did. I'm just gonna let it cool down for a minute here. I'm not gonna take anything off. All these connectors should be good. Let's go ahead and take this tape off. Okay. I'll be right back. These little connectors got a little toasty. That was my fault. I should have come down more straight on the heat or put something metal here to help deflect that heat. These will still be fine for what they're doing. It's just clamping down that ribbon cable in place. All these pins are fine, but that's not what I want. So I'm going to do better next time on that. For now, let's go ahead and proceed with this fix. I'm going to put some fresh solder down there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of that down. I'm going to turn my iron on and we'll get some fresh solder on there. This connector is just so small and in a little bit of an unruly spot. Oh, let me get my vent on. Oh. Okay. I think that'll be good. Let me just clean this up over here. Let me put some fresh flux on there. Clean that up. And some fresh flux. Beautiful. Let's clean up one more time. Rolling over. Just quick. Okay. I am going to mask this off one more time, and I'll bring the heat in from the other direction. I don't have to go as hot this time, but I do want to mask off these connectors. I don't want these getting in the way. The heat was like coming in underneath, so I'm going to come in. I think I'll come in from the other side. And let me go ahead and mask off the top of this shield as well, because of the glare. Let me see if I can get a better view on that. Okay. Do a little bit of flux. And I'm going to find my good connector. Very carefully place it down. I do kind of want to press it down. There we go. So that flux will kind of help hold it in place and flow it into the right spot. Let's see. This connector is so small and fragile. Just gonna take my time. As long as the alignment is close enough, it'll suck right into place. There we go. There we go. Okay. I'm going about half speed for this iron. Just gonna go back and forth. Oops. I blew that out of place. Let me turn my air down a little bit. Back and forth again. Still need to line it up, but it is tacked down. So let me add some more flux. And I'm going to come in very carefully. Let's take a closer look. Not even lined up. It's really small. Mm. Okay. I think we got it. Also, I was having like a surreal moment where I think the FPS on my camera jumped up to 30. Which is almost like a first. I think we're good. I'm going to go ahead and clean off and then we'll test the pins individually. So I am going to touch up these pins. I'm gonna add a little bit of flux here. Now let's try that out. Okay, I'm gonna clean and check these pins. Okay, let's take a closer look. Those look good. And the other side. Those look good. Okay, we'll reassemble and we'll test. We have a success. Micro SD card is detected. I put it all together. Those small connectors are a pain in the butt, but I'm glad I was able to fix it in this case. It's a little toasty. Let me check that Joy-Con rail, because that's where like the crusty spot was. So I'll be right back. Alright, let's see. Right side? Cool. And the toasty side. Fingers crossed. Not bad. Make sure it's charging. Well, it's not charging because the battery's full. Let me test the left one. Alright. And the wireless. Is wireless working? Huh. Wireless is not working. Let's take a look. Well, that was a fantastic scare for nothing. I got my own Joy-Cons out and connects wirelessly. No problems. So then the question is, why aren't these connecting wirelessly? Maybe the Bluetooth is defective, but on both of them? How odd. Both of them, the wireless doesn't work, but the wireless does work on my own set. Okay. And I had these Joy-Cons in the other room the whole time, so I don't think it's anything I did to ruin that. Maybe I can reset the pairing, and that'll fix it. So let me hit disconnect controllers. I just went to the settings and I gotta attach a controller. I'm gonna reset the pairing and we'll see if that fixes it. We'll try repairing these. I would hate to give this back without these Joy-Cons working wireless. And no. How bizarre. Unless it's like a battery or power issue on those. I'll ask the customer if he wants me to look at those, because maybe I can do that. But for now, I'm calling this a success. It's reading the SD card. Everything's working. I confirmed the wireless is working with another set of Joy-Cons. So I'm going to reassemble, give this back to the customer. It's another job complete. If you need something repaired, feel free to shoot me a message. I will leave some information in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions or anything, you have something else going on, reach out. Take care.